Hello Car-Revz-Daily fans, Detroit Bureau Chief Carl Malik here, and unlike our last video where we took a trip to the past with the Mercedes when we shot at Frontier Town in Romeo, Michigan, you can see that we are here back at our usual stomping grounds on the beautiful campus of Oakland University. And in addition to the Benz, we are also spending some quality time with this 2020 Hyundai Veloster N. The N is the performance pinnacle of the Veloster family, and N is also where its track slaying potential is truly realized. As you can see, N models come with a number of model exclusive touches, including this powder blue paint, which looks really good by the way, as well as other performance oriented upgrades. You get a very prominent roof mounted rear spoiler here, rocker panels with sills, and the sills come with this lovely red contrast stripe, and exclusive rims, and N exclusive badging with this lovely N here. While we're in the back, we might as well highlight another key difference between the Veloster N and other Velosters, and that is the exhaust. Whereas lesser Velosters have a centrally mounted exhaust system, the N uses a more traditional dual exhaust. Hyundai claims that this was necessary to not only allow the fitting of the bigger pipes, but to also fit some of the other performance upgrades that Hyundai has equipped to this car. As you can see, like all Velosters, the N is a 3-door. You have the first door here, and that allows the driver to get into the driver's seat. Passengers can actually flip this switch, as well as another lever back here, to move the seat to get into the seat that way. And here, on the other side, you have 2 doors. This door here, and then you flip up this small handle, and that will give you access to the other door. This funky layout has always defined the Veloster ever since it first came out. They'll still look for this to perhaps possibly confuse first-time buyers as well as first-time visitors to the car that might be used to going into 4 doors. N has promised that it's going to do a number of things to make its product stand out from the rest of the Hyundai lineup, and we're going to touch on it, one of the subtler ones, and it's the seat belts. As you can see, N designers have given the Veloster N blue seat belts. The blue matches the powder blue that's on the outside, and N claims that this is going to be a visual hallmark for N models moving forward. This is not the first time we have seen automakers do similar things with the seat belts. Volvo's performance sub-brand Polestar is going to be using gold seat belts moving forward for some of their performance models as well. As we look at the rest of the cabin, you can see that it is pretty much hallmark Veloster. It has a very clean, no-nonsense design, but N models here also have some differences too. You can see that N models get performance-focused cloth seats with very prominent bolsters, and as we slide into the N, you can see that the leather-wrapped steering wheel gets 2 blue buttons here. This first one is pretty much seen on other Velosters, and it covers your default drive modes, such as Eco, Custom, Sport mode, as well as the Custom mode. This button, however, we're going to touch on that in just more, a bit more in just a minute, accesses N mode, and it is here in N mode where this Hyundai really shines. So we're going to start the engine here. And as you can see, buyers that buy the N are greeted with a very comprehensive gauge cluster here. You get an integrated fuel indicator to match the speedometer, as well as oil temperature and a prominent rev counter. The UVO infotainment system is also pretty much standard Hyundai, but this mode here is another clue that there's more going on that meets the eye. We're going to hit this button here. And while it's called N mode here, Hyundai likes to call this particular feature the N grin control. We're not sure why they chose to call it that, but they claim that it's supposed to bring grins and smiles to the drivers of these cars. But as you can see, the marketing language aside, this menu actually has very comprehensive menus here. You can see that you have a turbo gauge, torque gauge to let you know how much torque you're producing, as well as a power gauge to let you know how much of the N's horsepower is at play. You also get the almost mandated G-force meter, as well as a timer when you're taking the N through spirited driving. This here is the custom mode, and like an a la carte at a restaurant, you can choose to fine-tune this car to your driving preferences. As you can see here in the powertrain section, we try and keep things roughly between Sport and Sport Plus. We find that this provides the best balance for this car, especially when we're in N. But you can also go into chassis, and you can play around with the steering and suspension here too. As you can see, for the moment, we have things in normal, as well as Sport and Sport for the other two. And of course, it dials things up further, and it's a great ally to have out on the track. Now we're going to turn off the car here for a minute. And as we get to the engine, you can see that even here in the pedals, it follows the language of some of its other hot hatch rivals. You do get metal covers for the pedals, one for the clutch, one for the brake, and one for the gas. And even the dead pedal gets a metal cover here as well. Very sporty touch. Now, the star of the show, of course, is what lies underneath the hood of the N. And in the case of our tester, so we get open here, is the same 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that is also used in the Sonata. Our tester arrived with an optional performance package that tacks on a few more horses for a grand total of 275. This is a front driver, but Hyundai claims that it has made some revisions to the front axle as well as the suspension geometry to help mitigate torque steer. And based on our experience with the car, especially when pushing it about, this axle does make a big difference. Pricing for the N is arguably another one of its strong suits. It sits comfortably in the $30,000 range, though base ones can be had for right around the mid $28,000-$29,000 range. Our tester here is in the $30,000 range with the addition of the performance package, and this package is also the only option on N for now. You do not get a sunroof as you see here. You do not get leather seats like you get in the GTI. And this may offend some people since the N tends to go for more of a functional motif. You can see that you do have hard plastics here, as well as other bits of hard plastic in the car. And we'll forgive Hyundai for going for a more functional motif, mainly because this car is all about having fun. And ultimately, this car does it in spades. Like we did with the Mercedes video, we are going to have a soundtrack video of the Hyundai's exhaust in N mode to let you guys hear the full fury of the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, as well as our video series on the Mercedes GLC 63. We look forward to hearing your comments and suggestions on not only what you guys like about these cars, but also what you would like to see in future videos. And stay tuned for more. We do have some future reviews down the pipeline. And as mentioned in our Mercedes video, we will remind people that with COVID-19 and the recent round of state government shutdowns, some of our future videos might be different. Michigan is currently not under a state stay-at-home order as of yet by our governor, but if that is to happen, some of our future videos might be shot at our home office instead of on location like we are here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.